Hello. I've come up with what I think is a pretty useful skill. It's a way to open up a standard Leatherman, just any Leatherman. This happens to be a clone called 𝘼𝙬, which I really like. I may make a video about it. I'm so impressed with it. How to open a standard Leatherman with just one hand. And this is useful so that your other hand can kind of hold the work. For instance, say I want to hold these two wires together and then open the Leatherman tool, the multi-tool, with the other hand to then apply the tool. So here's how it works. You hold it in one hand like this, and then you open it. It only takes about 1 second once you get used to the method. And it opens up into the in-use position. Notice that I can open and close it from that final position, which is really key to then apply to the work. So let me show you how I did it. It's pretty simple. Basically, you push your pinky and your thumb together here to initially split this open. Your pinky is also grabbing onto the tool. Notice that I can actually hold the tool with just my pinky in hand. And this keeps the tool from rotating, and it also allows you to do this trick even with your hand upside down if you want. Okay? So that first step was the pinky lock. You then push off the arm with your thumb. It's going to make a clunk sound up here on some of them, and then that may give you a little resistance there, but you just force it and you keep going, and that pivots it around. You're almost done. Now you just move your fingers into position, and you're in the ready to go tool use position. No repositioning of your hand grip necessary. This even works upside down with that pinky grip. Let me show you. So this is how I normally do it, but if I want to show off that I can do it upside down, I go like this, and we can do it upside down. Though this is my normal preferred position. Now this is how I typically hold a Leatherman. My pinky kind of holds it to my palm. This finger controls the outward motion. These two fingers control the grip. Some people, they kind of hold it differently than I do, so they rely on gravity to open it up. The problem is, what if there's no gravity? So having 3 fingers to open it up, that could be a problem there. So that's why this is the way I typically hold my Leatherman. And this deploys in that position. See? So that's my one-hand deployment. Oh, it even works with gloved hands, by the way. Some people, they use their Leathermans while their hands are gloved. Here it is working with a gloved hand. So it works with a gloved hand, ungloved hand, upside down, probably underwater. It's kind of a universal opening trick. Here's how the whole sequence works. You pinch at the bottom, which kind of breaks the initial seal, and your pinky is going to be locking the tool into position. In fact, it locks it into position so strongly you can actually do this in any position you want. You then push off the main arm until you get to the top, but then even though there's a click and it doesn't want to go any farther, you force it. And it comes over, and then you switch your fingers, and you're done. Pretty simple. This tool also closes very quickly and easily too. So this is the tool I actually used to invent this quick opening sequence. And once I figured it out, I then just practiced over and over and over and over and over and over until I eventually kind of developed a muscle memory for it. So just while sitting in front of TV doing nothing, I just kind of casually kept going like this. Over and over again. And eventually I can kind of just do this without even looking at it, just from the feel. Here's the Leatherman Wave. This is, I believe, the second generation. I think I bought it right when it came out, around 2004. All these tools, by the way, in this video are completely unmodified. I haven't loosened or modified them or anything like that. Anyway, the way you tell is it going to work is if it passes the pinky pinch test. And what you do is you take your pinky on one side of the split at the bottom and your thumb at the other. And if you push them together, you can open the tool up. That's a good sign. That means it's probably going to work. Now, when you do this, initially, if you're a beginner at least, you want to try and figure out which side does the plier head seem to stick with. So for instance, on this tool, this arm seems to be the one without the plier head, and this one is the one that the plier head sticks with. So you usually want the one without the plier head to be your push away arm. So this trick works with or without the belt clips attached. Problem though, without the belt clips attached, it's hard to tell which side of the knife you're on. Notice these both look almost exactly the same. I'm not sure if this is true of all Leatherman, but it is of these two, the Charge and the Wave. So here's a trick to identify which side is which. Only one side has jimping on the top of the knife. Notice this side does not have jimping up on top of the knife. That's because the side with the jimping is always the side with the wavy knife, the serrated blade. So that's a way you can visually identify which side you're on. Also, this aspect of having to be sure that the plier head doesn't come up with the push-away arm, you'll find that's less important once you get really good at this skill, by the way. You can still kind of do it even with the plier heads coming up when they're not supposed to. So you hold it like this, you apply the pinky pinch at the bottom, your pinky locks in. This also keeps the tool so it'll work even if your hand's inverted for some reason. You then push away with your thumb all the way over to the other side, and then you pull. And that's it. You're in the ready to go in use position. So that's the Leatherman Wave. Here's the Leatherman Charge. It's a little bit different, and the pinky pinch has to be done at the very bottom here, at the very, very tip. So you pinch, swing away, flip your fingers around, and you're ready to rock and roll. I hope everyone likes this as much as I do, because I'll tell you, I don't want to buy one of those expensive P4, or they just released the Leatherman Arc. I think it's like $230 or something. That seems like a lot of money for a Leatherman. But that's my one-handed opening, and it works on all my Leatherman except for this one, the side kick. So you may have trouble with the side kick, the wingman, the rev, and the bolster. And the reason why is this kind of fails the pinky pinch test. I can't easily pinch down here to separate the two arms. If I try really hard, of course, there I just got it. You can, I guess, sort of do it. So this will work with some Leatherman better than others. So I can't guarantee you're going to be able to do it, but if you can pass the pinky pinch test, meaning your pinky and your thumb need to be able to squish together to open up the bottom like that. That's the initial breaking of the seal. Once you do that, swing the arm around, reposition the fingers into the use position. Hope you like it.